I said that not, I didn't say that for myself. It's some preachers. God is saying, remember the covenant you had with me.
Yeah, God.
Woo-wee. Amen. Remember, preacher, making money hand over fist. God, I'll close the fence and take the hand. God, bad. Talking about you got your wife. You ain't gonna never leave me, baby. You'll see. You be hugging yourself. Amen.
Amen.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 22. Come on. First way to get a miracle. This mother met me out front, and she said, I'm ready for revival. She said, I've been praying for revival. Y'all ought to see her looking like a queen of the ball, laughing too. See, some of you don't understand how important laughter is. Amen. Laughter is like medicine.
That's right.
Amen. You want to take that prune juice and them X-Lax if you laugh. You'll lose yourself if you laugh. Touch your neighbor, say, laugh and loose yourself. What does it say there, preacher? Exodus chapter 2, verse 22.
And she bare him a son and called his name.
Exodus
2:22.
2:23, I'm sorry.
And it came to pass.
Yeah, because I got total recall. So if it don't compute, does not compute, it's like a chip in my head. Does not compute, 23. That's it. Read.
And it came to pass.
Yes.
In process of time. That the king of Egypt died.
Yes.
And the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage.
Wait a minute. Somebody here tonight is in financial bondage. Brother Hunt, wait a minute. Show me what a sigh is, Brother Hunt, in the microphone. Because you sigh doesn't move God. Your sighing means you've been in it a long time and you're tired. But sighing doesn't move God. And so they sighed because they were in bondage. But watch what they do that's going to move God and get them a miracle. Read, preacher.
And they cried.
Come on.
And their cry came up unto God by reason of the bondage. And God heard their groaning.
Wait, God heard their what?
Groaning.
Groaning. No, complaining.
Groaning.
No, they're murmuring.
Groaning.
Wait a minute. So that's now I've got revelation. Why the old mothers, when I would be there with them in prayer, I'm the youngest thing there, 5 years old, they begin to pray, and they prayed in unison. And this is how we ought to pray. Y'all repeat after the prayer leader. See? Jesus. 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 Help, Lord. Help, Lord. Send your help. Help us, Lord. Oh. My God. You see, Brother Hunt, my God, brothers, whenever you pray, Satan has demons outside of your prayer closet. They can't come in your prayer closet because there's too much glory. So they stand outside and they're eavesdropping. My God, that's why you need to groan sometime in your prayer. The devil and his demons think you're in pain, but you're about to release a miracle. I wish somebody touch your pocketbook and say, Touch your pocketbook right now and say, oh. Lift that pocketbook up and say, See, now the devil don't know how much you just asked God for. Get an amount of money in your mind right now and touch your pocketbook and say, Now watch what the Bible said. God didn't respond when they sighed, but watch what happened when they groaned. Read, Brother Hunt.
And God heard their groaning.
Wait, God heard their what?
Groaning.
And what happened, preacher?
And God remembered.
Wait, wrong. The writer there, Moses, put remembered. But in the ancient Aramaic, which the Bible, the Old Testament was written in, that meant, and God, because God don't have Alzheimer's. He don't have dementia. You understand? That meant, and God heard them groan, and God responded. Oh, my God. Not remembered, responded. Woo, my God. When God hear you groan, he shows up, and he responds. Touch your neighbor and say, neighbor, this one's for you. Say, Superintendent Taylor, I've got an assignment from God the next 2 nights. Whoever going to pick me up from the hotel, I need to be here by 7. And I want some folk on their knees around the altar with me. I'm going to groan, brother, for your ministry and this church. And I'm going to groan that God will release somebody's financial miracle. Do I have anybody who will join me in the groan tomorrow night on the altar? I'm going to be right here. And Brother Hunt, see, you're going to write down the miracle you need. And I'm going to have them here tomorrow night at 7. And I wish I had some just 30 minutes from 7 to 7:30. Because I want to get back to where we need to be. My God. Because I want God to respond to our groaning. Woo. My God. Somebody touch somebody and say, neighbor, the first way to get a miracle, God needs to hear you groan. Tell him you've been broke. You ought to touch your pocketbook, lift it up and say, Hey. Well, the Bible said, Paul said, in the mouth of 2 and 3 witnesses, let every word be established. Let's go to Psalms 38. Let's see if one of our biblical heroes groaned. Oh, somebody glad they came tonight. Yes. Psalms is after that book, Brother Hunt. A lot of brothers don't like the book called Job. The whole book in the Bible called Job. 42 chapters of Job. Psalms 38 and 9. Let's see what David says, brother. Because some people don't think God knows what they want. Read, preacher.
Lord, all my desire is before thee.
Wait a minute, Brother Hunt. Some of my desire.
All.
No, say it in the mic. Some of my desire.
All.
So, Brother Hunt, every desire we want, God already knows it. But let's see what he's waiting for you to do to get it. Read, preacher.
And my groaning.
My what, brother?
My groaning.
David said, you know all my desires, but I think I got the key here to get what I want from you. And my groaning is what, preacher?
Not hid from thee.
My Lord. David said, when I groan, you respond to me. He knows everything I want already. But when I groan, he responds to me. But David is not my example. Let's see if my man, JC, Jesus Christ, let's see if he ever groaned. Because if he did it, then we sure enough have to do it. Then let's go to St. John chapter 11. I feel like preaching somebody. Yeah, tomorrow night, oh my God, I can't hardly wait. Somebody going to get a check because you're going to be there with me tomorrow night groaning. Now, if you can't get here at 7, you ought to tell somebody, get here and groan for me. Or you ought to point at me and say, preacher, put one in for me. Because some people work and they can barely get here at 7. If you want me to put one in for you, I don't mind. I want you to get some miracle. That's why God ordained this revival. Superintendent Taylor and I were talking. He said, maybe we need to reschedule. God said, no, bring him in now. It's Miracle Monday. St. John 11 is very critical to our growth as men of God. Brother Hunt, yes, because Jesus was on a revival in Cana. He got the call that his friend Lazarus was sick. Yeah, Brother Sam was saying, yeah, it's like Jesus, his friend. He don't know you. Anyway. When they called Jesus, Taylor, he did not respond to the man's sickness. He stayed in revival. And when he got there, oh, my Lord. Let me talk to sister right here. Mary and Martha had attitude.
Yeah, they did.
I said they had attitude, boo. Folks said, Jesus here. Mary said, I ain't coming out the house because I may tell him something he don't need to hear. Martha said, well, I'm going out there. He got to hear what I got to say. Martha walked up to him and said, had you been here, you called him your friend. You called him your friend, Jesus. Had you been here, he wouldn't have died. Jesus said, when you called me, I was his friend. Uh-oh.
Thank you, Lord.
When y'all called me 4 days ago, I was his friend. Martha said, who are you now? He said, I'm the resurrection. Oh, somebody missed that. Some of y'all always want Jesus to be your friend, but he'll show up and be your doctor. Woo! He'll be your lawyer. My God. Can I preach tonight? My God. Martha said, what? He said, I'm the resurrection and the life. Y'all hear me? So watch what Jesus had to do. Verse 33. Let's see if he groaned. Are we being blessed tonight? Look at Sister Taylor just laughing. Read.
When Jesus therefore saw her weeping.
Saw her weeping. Come on.
And the Jews also weeping, which came with her.
Come on.
He groaned.
Wait, he did what?
He groaned.
Where?
In the spirit.
My God. Wait a minute. Some of y'all got some money that's been held up for a while. See, Jesus said, now this is a miracle. He didn't groan over Jairus' daughter. He spoke in tongues over her. My God. He said, Talitha Kumai. Can I go on? He didn't groan. See, when he had to meet certain situations, he didn't groan over the boy that had died in St. Luke 7:11 at Nain. He just spoke to the young man and got him up. But now, this is a critical, hard miracle. Can I go on? And some of y'all got a check that's been held up a while. And so he groaned in the spirit. But sometimes the devil will tell you, ain't nothing going to happen. So watch Jesus groan again. Some of y'all need to groan twice, you so broke. Go to verse 38.
Jesus, therefore.
What?
Again, groaning.
Wait, he did what, brother?
Groaning.
Again. Wait a minute. Some of y'all, don't let the devil tell you because you groaned one time and it didn't happen, that's it. It ain't going to work. Child, some of y'all need to groan again. Woo. Tell your neighbor, you already groaned one time. Tell them, neighbor, I'm going to let Satan and his demons know. I'm going to get my miracle. Even if I have to groan again. Somebody say, Now say it again, say, Woo. Watch this. He wasn't at the grave yet. See, some of us wait. He got to the grave and he called Lazarus. Before he got to the grave and called him, he groaned on his way to the grave. Somebody in here tomorrow on your way to work, groan on your way to work, and your boss will give you a raise. Woo! You ought to groan on your way to work and get your promotion. Somebody ought to groan while you ride by the bank tonight, just groan. Money may just fly out the ATM. Woo! Touch your neighbor and say, neighbor, when you go down James Road, you're going to pass First Tennessee Bank. So you ought to pull up in the parking lot and just groan, and the whole ATM machine jump in the back seat of your car. God is bad. Some of y'all just don't want to believe miracles like that. He groaned again. Somebody got a child that don't seem like they're going to change. When they get home and they sleep, go in that bedroom right there in the dark while your son laying up there high on crack and say, and watch God save that weasel. Say yes. Got an unsaved husband. Got an unsaved man. Sometimes he stagger home. Done got some of that wild water. Huh? He grown and he drinking Patron. He saying, when you going to pass the hen? He want to blame it on the alcohol, baby. But when he stagger up in there, just look at him and say, then touch his wallet and say, and God knows he'll give you every dime in his pocket. Clap your hands and give God praise in here. Woo. Look at somebody and say, the first way to get your miracle, God's got to hear you groan.